Hello and welcome to the Tom London Show. Come inside. Hello. Show number 30 it is. We're still a baby. We're in the gestation period. Welcome to the Tom London Show. If you've just pressed play on this video for the very first time, let me tell you what the Tom London Show is all about. We will be joined shortly by a gang. When I say we will be joined, this is a live show that goes out at 9 o'clock in Johannesburg, 11 o'clock in the morning in LA, 2 p.m. New York, 7 p.m. London, 8 p.m. Paris, and 6 a.m. Sydney. And people join us from all over the world, from different continents and around South Africa. People who just want to be human. People who just want to be kind for an hour. People who just want to let the day go by and sit with good friends. And sometimes just talk nonsense. Sometimes get deep and sometimes just get ha-ha. And that's what we do on the Tom London Show with the London Gang. You can become a member of the London Gang by joining the show live at 9 p.m. Central Africa time and saying hello to the people in the room, and then you make friends, you see. That's the byproduct of watching the show if you want to come in and join us live. You get to make some chinas. Well, I hope you've had a good Friday. Tell me how your day's been as you join the show tonight and you pop your hellos into the comments section down below. How's your Friday been? Have you had a good Friday? Was it filled with joy and happiness and cheer and success? Or did you have a Friday where you went, I just barely managed to get through this day today. My glasses are filthy. You get two types of people. You get people who carry those little glasses things, cleaning cloths. And then you get people who go, Now you know which one of those types I am. So how was your day? I want to know. Hi there, London Gang, says Alistair Jameson. We'll go to the comments quickly and see what you got to say, and then we'll check voice notes. Greetings, beautiful people, says Tammy Singh. This is the place to be tonight, and right now it's time for the Tom London Show. Good evening, TLG, says Barry Bowditch. Tammy's out of jail. That's good. Benjamin Jones out of Primrose says, how's it, Mensa? Patricia Ann Scott says, happy Friday night, everybody. It's Friday? I know, I can scarcely believe it. Karen Eva joins us and says, hello, London Gang. Time for a chill. The week was brutal, but hey, it's weekend. Yippee. Yeah, I had my Friday until I pressed the play button here and go live. I was like, ugh. Especially the last couple of hours. I had the camera that we normally use to record the show. That won't switch on for some reason. So an hour before the show, I'm running around trying to market plan, which I've managed to do. But it's still on charge and it still hasn't switched on. And I'm looking at it. I'm probably going to keep an eye on it throughout the whole show to see if this silly piece of technology will switch on. So that was the first thing that happened to me today. And then I chipped a tooth. And that depresses me. So I just got it myself. I was in a reasonable mood, and then two things happened, and then kaboom, I got myself into one of those bad moods. So I'm trying to lift myself out of it. And I had such nice content that I recorded today. I went to the Wanderers Stadium for the very first time in my life. I've never been to the Wanderers Stadium, and I shot it. Me walking around. And I wanted to show you that. And it's sitting on the piece of equipment that won't start up. So I got like, I was like, Alistair Jameson's day. I've had a fun day. Spent the day reading Ken Follett, Pillars of the Earth. The internet is terrible outside. Anyone else? I may need to watch another time, says Benjamin. Yeah, it's one of those technology days. Hi, Tom and the London Gang, says Gaynor Alice Benfield Schulenberg. And Liesel Schulenberg says, yes, the week was brutal. That's a roll of the dice, I guess. You could have a good day. You could have a difficult one. Are you thunderstruck, Tom? No, I just when technology doesn't work, that's my worst. I expect technology to work, and anything mechanical should just work. And I know stuff breaks, and I know stuff fails and takes time and whatever, but when a car stops working, I get bedonned. And that's like a car stopping. That is my worst. Maybe you've got a story about a bust car or a broken down car. I've had a few in my life. Cars that break down are just terrible relationships. They like dysfunctional relationships in real life. You shouldn't be with the car. The car keeps letting you down. The car doesn't treat you right. You can never rely on the car. The car's not loyal to you. But you stick with it. And you keep on going in that relationship with the very thing that is going to leave you stranded at 9 o'clock on the N3 highway on a Sunday night. That's what cars can do. Technology, same thing. Little bits and pieces of circuit boards. I really like your show, Tom. AC/DC. Yeah, you shook me all night long. That's the song. That's my number one song of theirs. Okay, what do you got to do? What's going on in your world? Let me find out. Power off in Belito, third time today. Yeah, that can also get you going. How's it, my gang? How are you, Tom? Says Josie. I'm doing better now that I'm with my friends. I think if the show didn't go on tonight, I'd just be lying on the couch getting depressed. I agree. Hate having car issues. I've had all sorts of cars in my life. I started off with a car called an Austin Marina. Do you know what an Austin Marina is? Let's chit-chat. I feel like chilling tonight, so I've got... I was going to play the Wanderers piece, which I'll still play if I can get this gear up before 10 o'clock. But I've got a Gavin Langeveld piece. We can listen to a little bit of music. And I thought, being a Friday, and as we head into the weekend, why don't we just chill with each other? Are you happy with that? No hectic stuff tonight, just chill? We'll chill, and we'll listen to voice notes. Should we listen to voice notes? We've got load shedding reports coming in from all over the country. We were meant to have load shedding at 8 p.m., but they've not put us off. Don't say that. That's when you say that, that's when the power goes off. The power gods look down and go, Gaynor Schulenberg just said that we forgot something. Click. Barry Bowditch, the cell phone tower batteries keep getting stolen, so an hour into load stealing, we lose all signal. Carlos Hartwell. Oh, it's good to see Carlos on board. Carlos joins us now. Okay, so people are joining us and leaving voice note messages. You ready for the first voice note message? Here we go. It comes from Cheryl Veerhan.
Good evening, LGs and
Hello.
Mr. President. Not Mr. London anymore, Mr. President.
Oh, wow.
So, today I was moving. I've got some...
Do you hear that? Did you hear that? Let's take it back a little bit. Right, let's
Good
try
evening,
listen to
LGs
that.
and Mr. President. Not Mr. London anymore, Mr. President. So, today I was moving...
Now, I know that sigh. Because, as I said on a previous show, my mom used to look for dilapidated houses and then buy them and do them up, and that's how she would make a little bit of money for the family. And so I grew up in one house. We never moved more than most of the time outside of a 3-kilometer radius. But boy, did we move around in that radius. I mean, just the places that I can remember living in off the top of my head. You want me to go for it? Okay, first place I ever lived in was Senator Towers, Joubert Park, Hillbrow. Second place I lived in was a house in Otoniqua Street in Eastvale, in Springs. That's when I can start remembering. After that, we lived in a house, 13 Alaska Road in Springs. Then we moved to a flat in the Fountains in Benoni. Then we moved to a house in Benoni I'm trying to think of the name now of the street. It will come to me. Right, that's 5. Then we moved to, my goodness, then we moved to a house in Bryce Avenue, Steubenvale. Then from Steubenvale, we moved to 23 Waiha Road. From 23 Waiha Road, we moved to 27051 Sombras Avenue, Mission Viejo, California. From 27051 Sombras Avenue, Mission Viejo, California, we moved to 6119 Underwood, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I think we lived in 23 Waiha Road twice. Then we lived in a house called Tulina Road in Selkirk Springs. Then we lived in a house in Rakana Road. This is all while I'm growing up. From Rakana Road, we moved, this has got to be boring, but I'm going to keep going. Rakana Road, we moved to a house, 3 Granby Road. Oh, we also lived in 8 Granby Road. We lived in 2 houses in the same road once. From 8 Granby Road, we moved to 26 Sierra Road. From 26 Sierra Road, my family moved to 4 Boughton Avenue, Pietermaritzburg. That's, how many is that now? Is that 11 or 16? I don't know. Boughton Road, Pietermaritzburg. Then I lived in a road called Rasplaw Street, Sharon Lee. And then I lived in a house in Morris Street in Rivonia. Then I lived... I can't even keep up with myself. Then I lived then I lived in a house, 55 Phoenix Street in Kensington. I stayed there for 8 years. That was a long run. Then I lived in a house in the Zalza Winelands estate in Stellenbosch for a couple of years. Then I lived in a house opposite Midrand High School in Midrand. Then I had a flat in Midrand, in Phoenix View Estate, I think it was called. Then I lived in Krugersdorp. Then I lived in Morningside. Then I lived in a flat and another place in Morningside. Then I moved to Douglasdale, and then I moved here, Bells of Redden Park. And I think I've probably left 4 or 5 places out. So when Gaynor goes, because my big thing, I hate moving, and I don't know why I've moved so much in my life if it's something that I hate. But when you say we've got to move, my blood runs cold. The very thought of unclipping the curtains just makes me want to crawl underneath the bed, switch all the lights off, and put something dark around me that I don't even have to see any light. That's how bad it gets when someone says, we got to move. I do not like moving at all. I don't like having to take the stuff and moving it somewhere else. It's a big enough problem having stuff in your life. I've realized as living alone, the thing that amazes me about living alone is how quickly stuff that is already here, but it's in its place, and then you pick it up and you use it and you put it down somewhere, how quickly stuff just multiplies. And it's physically impossible for stuff to multiply because you haven't brought anything in. These are some of the things I'm learning as I've been living alone recently. All by myself. Where does the stuff come from? And then I walk into my lounge and I see stuff all over the place. And I think, but hold on a moment. That didn't come from the outside. That came from the inside when it was clean. And now it's messy. And I've slowly come to the realization that it's because it's not in its place. That remote control was supposed to sit over there. That's why it's sitting on top of the hard drive now. You see, that's a problem. The hard drive shouldn't be there. It should be in the case where the hard drive goes. I get very bad with stuff like this, so I just get stuff accumulating around me that I didn't bring in. You know, when somebody says, oh, look at this, I go, that's nice. They say, would you like it? I go, no more stuff. That's me. No, thank you very much. That's lovely. You keep it, and you tag it and add it onto your pile of stuff. So I've got a problem with stuff moving out of place nowadays. When you tell me you have to take all this stuff and then move it somewhere else, that freaks me out. It got so bad that 10 years ago, I got so tired of moving stuff around that I got a storage unit. Have you ever had a storage unit? Storage units are weird. Let me know in the comment section down below if you ever had a storage unit. Storage units start off very pleasant. You go along and you see a little empty space and you sign a contract that starts at 10 years ago it was about $1,000 a month. So that's all right. It's not bad. I put all my stuff there. And I thought I will put all my stuff in a storage unit. And then I will just keep my clothes and a couple of essential items. And then one day, if the day comes, I will unlock my storage unit and I'll pull all my stuff out again. And I thought that would go on for a year or two. But it went on for 10 years of my life. That my stuff was in a storage unit. And I thought I was going through a whole minimalism phase where I don't want to have much stuff. But the funny thing is you can be a minimalist and then after a couple of years you're a maximalist again. There's stuff all over the place and you're like, how did this happen? I put all my stuff in a storage unit so that it would stay there so that I didn't have all this stuff around me and I could be free. And now I got just as much stuff. And then every year the storage company hits you another 10% escalation, which is fine over a year or 2 or 6 months, but a decade later, now you're paying thousands every month for your stuff. And then you start thinking, hold on a moment, how much is that stuff paying towards the rental of the property they live in? The candlestick holders and the couches, and the microwaves and the washing machines. You start to resent the stuff in the storage unit. You're not paying for your own keep. I'm paying. Time to get that stuff out of there. I did that about 5 months ago. Got all the stuff out. And then I found a spare room and I put all the stuff in a big spare room. It's like having my own personal storage unit. Once you've got a storage unit, you are toast. Even if you get rid of the storage unit, you will take your stuff and you'll make your own little storage unit at home for it. Someone needs to explore the psychology of storage units. Because there's something that happens when you sign that paper. It's stronger than an antenuptial contract. I reckon a storage unit relationship is stronger than a marriage. It has to be. Yeah. Those are my thoughts on moving. When people tell me moving, whatever Cheryl did, I yell and scream and cry and kick and bite and run.
Good evening, LGs.
All right, let's listen.
Mr. President.
Yes, ma'am.
Not Mr. London anymore, Mr. President.
Free sweets for everyone.
So, today I was moving.
Yeah.
I've got some amazing clients who help me out, but I'm absolutely broken. There's nothing inside of me that can move anymore.
Yeah, that's what moving
However, I'd
does
like
to
to share a small story.
Okay.
I
Don't
had
ever
a
move.
truck from my client
Yeah.
to move all my dog agility training stuff.
Okay.
And he said, you may as well keep the truck until 12 o'clock. And I picked up 2 guys from the side of the road and, they were amazing. Gosh, those guys work so hard for next to nothing because I couldn't offer them a lot. And as we were driving up the hill, suddenly this truck stopped and they jumped out of the truck. And I was like, what is going on? Is the truck broken down? And my heart absolutely broke. He'd seen a guy in the garden pick up a hare, a dead hare.
Like a rabbit hair.
And he wanted the hare for supper tonight. So tonight, Tom, when you say our belly's full, I just want us to think about people which we think are just sitting on the side of the road, not meaning much. But you know what? When you pick up a dead hare on the side of the road because it's food for you, my heart broke. I really wish we could spread the kindness a lot more. Anyway, guys, I am totally broken.
I'm sure.
I am broken. I will be up at 4 again tomorrow morning. I will carry on, but right now I am done.
One more.
Okay, let me just say, I bought them food. I paid them more than what I would have.
Good.
I might not eat tomorrow. Tomorrow night will be peanut butter samis, but you know what? At least those guys got a really good supper. So that is amazing. And tomorrow morning we start again. We work hard. Oh, and it's my birthday tomorrow.
It is?
So Tammy, please could you sing for me? Because I need a happy birthday song. Tomorrow I am 53 years old.
Come on, Tammy, sing. You gotta leave a voice note for Cheryl Virhan, who turns 53 tomorrow. Tammy, sing. You are becoming the official birthday singer on the show. We expect a voice note from you, Tammy. Happy birthday, dear Cheryl. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cheryl. Happy birthday to you. And not a voice note directly to Cheryl, to us at the London Gang. Cheryl's got a good heart. What a story, Cheryl. There are those that go hungry amongst us. Well, I'm glad your move's done. That's the main thing, isn't it? You got that out the way. Jeez, that's a chore. Okay, let's have a look and see what you got to say in the comments. Then we'll play some music and chill out on show number 30, Friday night in the City of Gold. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Craig Blicknote is on board. How's it, Craig, my friend? How come you've never been to the Wanderers? You see, I'm not a cricket lover, so I've actually never been to a cricket game, match, tournament. I don't know, what do you call them? I lie. I did go about 5 years ago. Malcolm Russell took me to watch the Supersport commentating team at a stadium in Benoni, but it was before the game started. That's the only time I've ever been around anything cricket related. So I've never ever gone to see a limited overs or a T20 or anything like that. And that's why I've never been to the Wanderers. And today was my first trip to the Wanderers to go to a site inspection for a venue we're doing a gig at next week. Gaynor says, even I have been there. I know, I thought about it. I thought I've been everywhere in this town and most places in South Africa. How come I've driven past the Wanderers 1,000,000 times and never gone in? And today I did, all the way into the reception area of the Lions. Is that the team? The Lions. I was sitting in the Lions Lounge today. Nancy Wemers, Tom London, you have been to the Wanderers for a fundraiser with myself and the others from music. Yes. Okay, so yesterday I did say that I have a vague memory of going to the Wanderers for some function. But I do not remember looking out over the stadium. But then my memory, this would be 20 years ago. Wanderers for a fundraiser with myself and the others from the United Cerebral Palsy Association of South Africa. Yeah, kind of remember that. Do you have that problem? Things are just gone. Like 20 years ago something happened and it's actually just gone. Wow, you have a good memory. I lived in... No, I don't. You see, I just demonstrated on the one hand I can remember every house I ever lived in, but the other I can't remember an event at the Wanderers Stadium. I lived in the same house in Selection Park Springs until I moved out at 21. We never lived in Selection Park. We came close. I always wanted to live in Selection Park, but we never did. Has anyone ever been accused of doing something by your partner because of a dream they had and you did nothing remotely close to what your partner is accusing you of? Oh, that's an interesting one. Are we throwing topics around? Cool. Let's throw some topics around. I've never had a partner accuse me of being unfaithful because they saw it in a dream. But I have had that dream. Early on in life, I think in my 20s, I remember having a dream where my girlfriend was busy. Another guy. And I remember waking up in a cold sweat and realizing it was a dream, but I couldn't shake off that feeling that I was upset with her. It took a day. That's a weird thing, that, eh? I mean, you know it's dumb, you know it's stupid. But that feeling of, oh no, I've been betrayed. It was just a dream. Yeah, but I can still feel it. That kind of stuff, I think you just keep quiet and don't say anything, because it gets you into big trouble if you do that. Tammy Singh says, no, but I accused a partner of doing something because of a dream. And I think more than one of us have been there. Tom, you move more than a Touareg. Awesome. We're not a tree. No, I don't like moving. I do not. My parents were gypsies. I somehow managed to carry on, but I just like to stay put like Lil Cook. I like to be in one place. Just cement me in. Again, I was going to see an endocrinologist on the 9th. Yeah, I'm not a doctor, so I can't give any medical advice, but I will say this. You always got to watch the diagnosis with these characters. Sorry, these doctors. You got to make sure that they get the diagnosis right. That's always on the top of my mind. When you go to a doctor, you say, my arm's not working that well, and then they go, okay, well, it must be maxiplasty bad baby disease. Yeah, this is the treatment. We're going to inject your eyeballs with collagen. Now, I always go step 1. Diagnosis. How sure are you of this? On a scale of 1 to 10, Doc. Are you 10 positive or are you 5 positive? Or are you guessing at 1s and 2s, dude? Because if you get the first step wrong, the rest of it is just a mess, don't you think? Next thing you're on some tablets, then the side effects so that you have an itchy palate or something for the rest of your life. So I always think when it comes to doctors, it's like mechanics. Anybody who diagnoses a problem. Mechanics are a good example of this because we know it happens with mechanics. So let me run through my theory of diagnoses and doctors for you. When you take your car, and I bet you many people have experienced this. When you take let's say you're driving down the road and you're driving and your car's doing fine, and the next thing it goes, quick, 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 and it's making this quick, quick noise. And you're like, that doesn't sound right. Let me drive to the mechanic quickly. So you hook a left, and then you go to the mechanic. And then he says, how's it? Yeah, sorry, my hands are full of grease there. And they still shake your hand. And he says, how's it? What's wrong? And you go, look, I was driving down the road and then my car started going quick, quick, quick. And he says, oh, okay, well, let's take it for a drive. And then you hop in your car with the mechanic and you drive down the road. Most of the time the car stops making the noise, but let's say it doesn't and it goes quick, quick. The mechanic goes, oh, that has to be your left front wheel bearing. And then he gives you a quote. And then you got to get an Uber and leave the car there. And then a day or two later, if you're lucky, or that afternoon, you get a call saying, Mr. Tom, your car's ready. And you go back to the mechanic and you drive it away and it's all good and fine. And then half an hour later, you hear it. Quick, 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 quick. What the hell? Turn the car around, go back to the mechanic. So like, dude, that noise is still there. It's still quick, quick, quicking. So, all right, leave the car with me, I'll check it out. And then you leave the car with the mechanic. And then the mechanic has to figure out what he got wrong the first time on the diagnosis. Now, doctors do the same thing. You go to them and you say, my arm's going quick, 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 quick. When I do this, you see, and then the doctor goes, oh, let's have a look. Quick, quick, quick. Ah, that must be polymondriol for Coca-Cola. Don't worry about that. We've got an injection for that. That's where we stick injections in your ears and inject Lucozade for the rest of your life. Now, if the doctor made the same mistake as the mechanic, that's where the trouble begins. So I'm a firm believer when you deal with doctors, make sure they get the diagnosis right. Make sure there are enough tests. Get a second opinion. So Tom is not OCD at all then? No, I'm the furthest from OCD. And the funny thing is a lot of my relationships have been with women who are OCD. And I think that might be one of the reasons they just can't handle me after a while. Because if I was OCD, the last person I want to live with is me. The very last. It doesn't matter to me whether that's at a right angle or whether that's normally sitting there and now it's sitting there. It doesn't mean a thing to me. If there's something lying around and it shouldn't be there, it's all right. We'll get to it tomorrow. That's my attitude. And I know it's wrong. I know I should do better. And I've always landed up with women who are OCD. And they think it's cute for a while. About 24 to 48 hours. And then you see them getting upset. My first girlfriend was very OCD. But she was cool. She said, you just leave the house alone. Don't touch anything. And I went, but I just need one room, please. I'll never forget having the negotiation. We were buying a house together. And I said, how are we going to live together with you need everything neat and tidy, and I don't give a damn. And she said, okay, well, the house is mine. You don't touch anything. And I said, okay, but only if I can have one room at the end of the house, and I'm going to call it the slob room, and in that room, you're not allowed to tell me what to do, or where anything goes, or it's messy, or anything like that. And we shook on it, and we did a deal, and we bought a house. It was one of those old cottagey houses in Kensington with Oregon pine floors and pressed ceilings and Oregon pine dado rails and lead pane windows. Very cute house. And I spent a lot of time sanding the floors and getting this place looking nice. And when it was all nice, we furnished it. And then I was told I'm not allowed to sit on the lounge suite. Now, can you imagine being told you're not allowed to sit on your own lounge suite? I said, well, I'm not allowed to sit on the lounge suite? She said, no, you're not even allowed to go in the lounge. I was like, oh, well, I got my slob room over there with the couch with the holes in the material and the dog lies on it and the birds are in the corner and I got my big screen and my speakers and I got my CDs and I got my music and I got my coffee table and I got my coffee machine and I got my little fridge with Coca-Cola and I am good. And you know what happened? Eventually, over the years, all my friends, my family, whenever they came to the house or we were in the home, everyone would land up in the messy slob room, even the OCD girlfriend. I must confess I used to mess with her mind by turning little ornaments 5 degrees and seeing how long it would take for her to figure out that I had done that. But I was young then, what do I know? Okay, back to the comments. I would argue that point. I think Tom is incredibly OCD. No, not about stuff. About procedures and step 1, step 2, step 3, yeah. Storage unit could become a bit like a time capsule if you leave it long enough. The weird thing about pulling your stuff out of storage and then putting it back into your own storage at home is you look at stuff going past you and you go, what is that? I don't remember that. There's a lot of that. And then there's a lot of like, oh, I forgot about that. You forget about most of your stuff. If you ask the average person who's had their stuff in storage for 10 years to please name the items in storage, they get to about 5 items and forget about 500. I'm telling you. Tom, a good clean out once a year. I remember my family used to call it the spring clean. My mum used to say, we're having a spring clean. And my dad would say, it's Operation Bullshine. And then we'd go and rearrange the stuff. And now you have a storage unit filled with as much stuff as you do at home. Exactly. That's what I was trying to get to, the point. I decluttered a few months ago. A visceral experience. Yes, it is. I'm glad, Tom, you got that off your chest about moving. I think I'm just moaning tonight. I don't like moving. A lot of people like to eat roadkill, says Shell Green. You got a good heart, Cheryl Verhan. Tom, we had multiple robberies. This is from Joan. Everything except the bucky that belongs to us in the garage is now stored in my house and me. I'll just leave it like that. They didn't take the bucky? Wow. We had a bakkie stolen from us. Oh, I'm going to tell you can I tell you a funny story? This is a funny story. My mom and dad started this business in Springs called Tire Salvage in 1995. It's still going today. And they didn't have much money when they started the business. They literally started it with nothing, and within a year it became incredibly successful. And we all jumped in, my brothers and I, and did little bits and pieces to help them out. My job was to drive an ancient Isuzu bakkie in the mornings, because I used to have my radio job in the afternoons, but in the mornings I'd drive the bakkie with a big steel cage on the back, an old Isuzu bakkie, and I'd drive it to the worst areas of Joburg where they would have second-hand tires, and I would climb in the piles with Lebanese guys, and we'd fight over 185/14 commercials. And I'd come back, if we were lucky, with 30 or 40 tires that would then go into stock and they'd get sold and put food on our table. And I loved that old Isuzu bakkie. It was slow and it emitted plumes of black smoke that would have made the EU turn itself inside out. And then one night, at night I always used to work in nightclubs, so I had 3 jobs. And at night I would come home at sometimes 2, 3, 4 in the morning. And I got home early one night, about midnight, from a nightclub job, emceeing a ladies' night in Benoni. And I was already in bed when I heard my mother scream, "Thomas, why are you making such a bloody noise at this time of the night?" And I thought, hold on, I'm not making a noise, I'm lying in my bed. So I ran to the front door, just in time to watch my Isuzu bakkie reverse through the front wall. The brick wall, it just reversed right through it. Gone. And then first gear and gone. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe this is a house 26 Sierra Road. The bakkie reversed through the wall. Well, it turns out some guys wanted to steal the bakkie and they pushed it all from the backyard all around the house, quietly, and they got it into the front yard where they thought they'd nip out the driveway. But it was a diesel, so it didn't start as quickly as they thought it would start, and it was old. I knew that bakkie took 5 minutes to start. They didn't. So the thieves were sitting there going with my mother 3 meters away, getting more and more upset about the noise she thought I was making. Now, a side note to the story is that at that stage of life, my mom had decided that she didn't want to sleep with a top on. I know this may seem like useless information, but my mom would sleep commando. So when she got up to shout at me through the bedroom window, she was stark naked. And I think that those burglars got such a big fright looking at this old lady in the window screaming at them that they couldn't help but reverse through the wall. And they took our Isuzu bakkie. But the South African police services found our Isuzu bakkie in a roadblock. And we went to pick it up minus a battery and 4 wheels. It must have been the only car that ever skated into a roadblock on its drums. Tammy, sing now. 2 messages.
Tom, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday for tomorrow. Happy birthday, Cheryl. Hope you have an awesome day. I'm going to wish you again, and maybe I'll sing again on Facebook for you, but hope your day gets better and you have the most beautiful heart, and you'll be blessed to infinity and beyond for that good heart.
That's true. What a nice message. Thank you, Tammy. Sing. Josie de Oliveira now, all the way from Portugal.
How's it, Tom? Josie, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks.
About the doctors, let me tell you a story.
Uh-huh.
I was wheeled into surgery, and I was going for an ear op.
Yeah?
And after lying there for a while, the nurse comes up to me with a little booklet and whatever, and file, and asked me, "Oh, so you're coming to remove your toenails?"
What?
I said, "What the?
Your toenails?
I'm coming for an ear op." "Oh, sorry, I've got the wrong person." That's what happened.
Can you imagine you go in for an operation on your ears and you come out with 10 missing toenails? That's gonna upset you. I think then the doctor owes you some money. Or some. Do you get toenail transplants? I don't think you do, so you ain't getting your toenails back. Well, then I'd want a lump sum. Nikki, my brother in the bush, says, "Hi everyone, hey bud, hope you're all having a great evening." We're getting into it. It's the end of the week and we say goodbye to Monday to Friday as we enter the weekend. My wife woke up fuming because she walked in on me with Steffi Graf and she confronted me and I said, "Join us or get out." No wonder she was mad. Shell Green says, "I had a dream that my then boyfriend cheated on me. I told him. He went white and he said, driving me home, said I have met someone else, but would still like to see you. My reply, no thank you, and that was that." So your intuition kicked in. Okay. Tom London, we're doing animal sounds again tonight or just car sounds? No, just car sounds. Tammy Singh says, "I accused my former partner with a lady, only to find out it was his cousin. But still, in this day and age, anything goes. Some mechanics do it on purpose to get more money out of you. Don't talk to me about doctors," says Shell Green. You should try dating one. "I watched a TV show when a dude went for surgery and wanted muscle implants and woke up with breast implants," says Tammy. Your man cave, hey Tom. I never saw it as a man cave. I suppose it is, like people say man cave. Yeah, it would be a man cave, I suppose. But I called it the slob room. It was famous. Like you turn the cushions around to see if we notice. That's just for the for the OCD people. But did you find the 10 mil sockets? What else we got going on here? Oh, Tom, your Isuzu was the reason why we have Greta Thunberg? Probably. Greta Thunberg would have a stroke if she'd seen that. The old Isuzu buggies were called Samurai. Most had two-tone paint schemes. Mine had dents. Shell Green says, "I was finally sleeping. I was shaken awake. The house black is pitch quiet so you can hear a pin drop. No one shook me awake. I have feet cramps. It's driving me mad." All right, I'm trying to work out what that is. Weird Al Yankovic wrote a song called "Wrong Foot Amputated." Facebook will allow it. You think so? All right, Shell's dad went in to get a mole removed and they had him down for half a foot removal on the other foot. What's a half foot removal? Which half of the foot do they remove? The front half, or do they cut it down the bottom? A half foot removal. I had to go into surgery last week to have a half foot removal. Which half? What? The front half, man, where the toes go. I had them removed. I was just going in for a sinus flush. So have you pressed the... Oh, I was thinking when Cheryl was talking about the guys that wanted the dead hare so they could eat, I was on the drive to Wanderers today. It was around the Victory Park area in Johannesburg. I passed a guy at a robot, traffic light. On a 12, 13K drive in Johannesburg, you probably pass 30 people standing at traffic lights wanting some money. And everyone's got a different story. I remember a guy I knew said that the greatest entrepreneurs in South Africa were the people who stood at traffic lights, because if you looked at what they did as a business, They would set their business up with a permanent marker and a piece of cardboard, and the income starts coming in. I mean, it's an interesting way of looking at it on a purely clinical business level. And then it all depends on the marketing message. So some people respond more favorably to someone who's disabled, and they'll go, well, I need to help that person. Or somebody has got a kid and they need to feed the kid, and some people will say, well, I need to help that person. Let me go buy them something or give them some money. And then some guys get a piece of cardboard and they write messages. Like, if you give me 10 Rand, I won't beg you for 10 Rand. They got different messages. And the guy I drove past today, as I was approaching him, the board said, I am starving. Please help me. Literally, exactly what I'm telling you exactly. I am starving. Please help me. And he wasn't a fat guy, he was a skinny guy. So he did look the part. He didn't look like a skeleton, but he wasn't big. But the thing that freaked me out was, as I drove past him, I noticed he had the biggest smile on his face. He looked like the happiest guy in Johannesburg. And all the way to the Wanderers, I kept thinking, what about that image just didn't work for me? Because generally starving people don't smile. And there he was with a big smile on his face. And I couldn't work out whether he really was starving, but he was happy despite it, or whether he wasn't starving and that was just his marketing message. I could not work it out, and I still can't work it out, and I think it's part of the reason my brain's muddled tonight, because that thought has been going on in my head the whole day. Half a foot removal is from the big toe down. Down where? Still can't work out what half a foot is. Tammy, my sister-in-law, was so paranoid going for a medical operation on her right knee that she marked her other leg with permanent markers so the doctors would not operate on the wrong leg. That's a good idea. You take a Koki pen to the hospital with you next time. Say, ear operation, arrow, yeah. And it was the wrong foot. Oh my goodness. So Dad kept both his feet minus the mole. Tammy Singh says she's just so paranoid sometimes she can create a movie in her mind. I think a lot of us can do that. Nick says maybe he was starving and figured looking miserable would actually be counterproductive. Yeah, I should have stopped and asked him. That could be a possibility. Should we do some Gavin? Gavin's got a new song out. Oh, I like this song. This is, he's reggae-fied a really cool, well-known song. He's given it a reggae beat. And perhaps we can just chill for a few minutes and listen to Gavin. How's that? Yeah, let's play some Gavin Langeveld.
Rather roam. The one who says he'd rather be alone. If you could only see me now, if I could hold you now, just for a while, if I could really make you mine, just for a moment to turn back the hands of time. If I could only hold you now. 'Cause I've been too long in the wind, too long in the rain, taking any comfort that I can, looking back and longing for the freedom of my chains, lying in your loving arms again. 'Cause I could almost feel your loving arms hear me now? Singing somewhere through the lonely night, dreaming of the arms that held me tight. If you could only hear me now, 'cause I've been too long in the wind, too long in the rain, taking any comfort that I can, looking back and longing for the freedom of my chains, lying in your loving arms again, 'cause I could almost feel your loving arms again.
There we go, Gavin Langeveld, Love and Arms. I hope you enjoyed that. While we're getting things off my chest, can I just say, I was watching this video on YouTube the other day. Maybe I can throw it up on screen. I'm not going to be able to throw the audio up. But, yeah, here we go. Let's see if we can do this. And do that, and then put that up. Right, can you see that? Oh, that's not working. This is a band called Pussycat. They had a song called Georgie back in the day. Do you remember? Here we go. Remember? I can't play the music because I'm going to get flagged for it. Maybe if I play it softly, they won't take me off the air. Do you remember them? They sang a song called Georgie. Okay, that's it. Otherwise, I'm going to get taken off. But when I was watching the video, I thought, wow, she's really white. I mean, look at my skin tone compared to her skin tone. I was watching this video and I thought, I think they were a Netherlands band. They're very white. Look at them. They've got no pink in them at all. And I was watching this video and I was thinking, I'm actually not white. We've been getting this wrong for a long, long time. I'm pink. And when we tick all those boxes, I just wish for a little box that said pink. Because I don't look like that. I mean, you probably, maybe if you live in Europe and you don't see the sun, maybe that, see, look at that. It's like skeletons. And I looked at this video and I thought, wow, I am not the same color as that person over there. I am not white. I realized that I'm pink. And that's something that's had me thinking for a couple of weeks as well. Anyway, lack of sun, says Little Cook. Oh, I wanted to show you when Miley Cyrus comes to South Africa. I want to take her on a flight, on a microlight flight. I went on a flight. I am pink. Don't say I'm not pink. I am pink. I'm pink. When I look, I'm like a pinky orange. It's not the black background. There's an honest difference in skin tone between myself and someone from the Netherlands, for example. Their skin is more like, hold on a moment. See, this is white. That's a white piece of paper. There's no denying it. Now, look there. Can you see what I'm talking about? I want to be reclassified pink. I really do. It's not the lighting, because if it was the lighting, white would be pink, and it's not. See, it's white. See? It's white. Yeah, and it's not the white balance either. I know all of that. This is what I look like. This is my tone. Pink, man. So when I bring Miley Cyrus over to the country, I'm thinking I'm going to take her on a microlight flight, and I did find your man buns that color. That's true. If you look at your backside in the mirror, that's more like that color, hey? Yeah. So it's the sun that does that to us. I can identify as pink. Now we're pink. There we go. A couple of years back, I took this microlight flight over the Crocodile River in the Kruger Park. And it's old footage recorded off a cell phone, probably 20 years ago. But I thought I'd take you for a quick flight and show you. Miley, by the way, if you want to go for a microlight flip over the Crocodile River, this is what it's going to look like. This is lining up on the runway now. And then full steam ahead, jam that throttle forward, say your prayers, and there we go. And right about now, we're off the ground, and we're just building up speed for a fighter jet-like climb. Straight up, baby! And there's the African savanna. Well, not the savanna, the bush. Circle bush trees. Not very good trees to land in. And I will take a flip over the Crocodile River, Miley. See? We're going to go solo. They're the hippos. Say hello to the hippos. And the elephants. And the rocker crocodiles. And that's what freedom looks like. That was a memorable flight for me. My dad also came with that day. That was nice. And so here we are at the end of an hour together. After spending 60 minutes swapping conversations and messages in the comments section down below the video. After hanging out with friends known as the London Gang. After getting to the end of a week. That could have been a good one for you, could have been a stressful one, could have been a bad one. Luck of the draw sometimes. But how lucky we are to get to the end of a week together, all alive, all breathing, or in our various forms of function or dysfunction. But we're here. We're still here on planet Earth, sucking oxygen and nitrogen. Mostly we suck in nitrogen and a little bit of oxygen. That's another thing that confuses me. Where does all the nitrogen go? Our bodies are amazing, but so here we are, taking air that is mostly nitrogen and sucking out the oxygen. And we're still doing it, and we're still going. And we got a weekend ahead of us, and on Monday we'll join each other again. And we start another week as we approach Christmas time and the end of 2023. Oh, by the way, I was thinking Christmas Eve, I haven't got any plans, so I was thinking wherever I am, maybe we'll do a Christmas Eve show, and if you're not doing anything on Christmas Eve, then you join me for a virtual Christmas Eve dinner. What do you think? Are you in? I mean, some people are going to have plans on Christmas Eve, but if you don't, I was thinking let's do a virtual Christmas Eve dinner. I'll cook, you cook, and we sit down together and we eat Christmas dinner together. And we will throw a couple of traditions in. Would you like that? I'm thinking about doing that on Christmas Eve. Just let me know in the comment section down below. And I think I'm done for the day. I'm done for the week. It's been a week where I chipped a tooth. I bashed my elbow. I've got such a big lump on my, I bashed it really hard the other day. So I got that going on. I got this. I got technology that's not working. And I think that's the end of the week for me. And a deep breath out on Friday night, and a lacquer weekend coming up, and then catch you on Monday, 9 p.m. Fab idea, you like that? Okay, cool. All right, maybe we do that. We have a virtual Christmas dinner together. That might be nice. Oh, the music just started all by itself, man. We need a longer show to cater for the Christmas show. Yeah, we'll do a little bit longer on Christmas. Christmas Eve, we do a virtual Christmas Eve together. Yeah, so you can cook your dinner. We time it, and we sit down at 7 o'clock or something, and we have Christmas dinner together. And yeah, I'll link us up to other people who are having Christmas dinner, and we'll do Christmas dinner together. I'd like that. Sorry you're having a rough week, Tom. It hasn't actually been that rough. I haven't got too much to complain about, but you know how you just like one or two things. But I got to tell you something, that in the hour going before I went live tonight, I was really like, oh man, why does this thing not want to switch on? And how am I going to get this show on the air? Now I have to try and fiddle and faff, and I would just get into one of those moods. And I'm like, why did I have to bash my elbow? Why did I chip my toe? And why did I was like that. And then 10 seconds before I pressed the play button to go live with you, I felt this joy start springing up in my chest. I'm not lying. I thought, oh wow, you know what? Even though the day hasn't ended the way I wanted it to, and it didn't go the way I wanted it to, I'm going to get to sit with some of my friends now and just relax and chill and get to the end of the week with some good peeps by my side and just share some time and share some thoughts, share some words and some music and each other's company. And that made me feel good. So I want to thank you tonight for doing what you tell me I do from time to time. Thanks for making me feel good. And I hope that we've reached the end of the show being, as Cheryl says, grateful. For I wish you a belly that's got enough food in it that when you rub it, you go, I'm fed. And I wish you a pocket that's got enough money to get you through the next 24 hours so that you don't have to worry about the next day. And I wish you a sleep so deep that when people walk past, they think you dropped into a coma. And I wish you a wonderful, wonderful Saturday and Sunday. May good things happen to you this weekend. Most of all, I wish you'd press the like and the ha-ha button. I really wish you'd press the like and the ha-ha button. What's that, Lyle? The people who don't press the like and the heart and ha-ha button are donkeys? They asses. Ah! Well, you heard it from Lyle. The people who do not press the like and the ha-ha button, what do you say they are? They what? Those people that don't press the like and the... They asses. Listen, thanks for coming back every weeknight. Thanks for pressing the play button. If you're watching the show tomorrow or the next day, thank you for pressing the play button on the Tom London Show. Consider joining us live, 9 o'clock Central Africa time, every Monday to Friday. Until Monday at 9 o'clock, I hope you have a super duper weekend. And until then, I miss you. Change